Act 1. The curtain opens on the music room of the mansion. Diana is singing as Rupert plays the piano. The guests are sitting in rows around the piano, listening with complete attention. The exception is Fenwick Barnes. Should we have like an actual piano music?
Yes.
Okay. Oh man, you're good at this.
Sing it. Also tell us.
The guests are sitting in rows around the piano, listening with complete attention. The exception is Fenwick Barnes, who is clearly falling asleep in the back row. Man, he's good. As Diana hits a long note, the sleeping Barnes falls back onto shelf. A large vase falls off the shelf into his lap. He catches it. Only Wendy, the maid, sees what caused the vase to fall. She gasps, the concert stops, and everybody turns to Barnes.
Oh, Mr. Barnes is there today again.
A detective is always on his toes, even when he is seated.
This vase is priceless to me. It's a rare mystery from the mines in the China. It's worth millions, whatever could make it fall.
Perhaps the vibration from the piano and Mr. Mound.
Yes, doctor. Good work. Let's go with that theory.
Do you guys see this beautiful moon flash?
He sets his monkey on the piano and takes the bass. Oh, what I wouldn't do to have a piece like this.
Wouldn't we all? Count. Wouldn't we all?
The guests all nod in agreement. And that's the conclusion of Act 1. Let's come back to our places.
You guys like in the another part, you guys should say yeah.
My favorite character so far is the pianist.
He's only sitting down.
Ready?
Absolutely.
My actors, ready?
Yes.
Are you one of my actors? Are you ready? Okay, listen. Act 2. The next morning, Lady Milton walks into the music room. She looks around and screams. All her guests, including Barnes, in a long nightshirt and nightcap, come running into the room.
My ring, it's gone. It's been stolen.
But surely none of our honored guests would do such a thing.
And yet, last night, every single person in the room expressed the wish that he or she might possess such a piece of priceless beauty.
The guests all muttered among themselves, offended.
Someone is missing. Where's Wendy, maid?
Why she lives at dawn for her mother in the village. It's her day off.
Everyone else stays until we get to the bottom of this.
He turns to Dr. Hamish.
A private word with you, Doctor.
He leads him away from the other guests.
Anything, Fenwick. You know that.
And if you guys want, you could do like the dialogue here in front.
We need to be sitting at the table.
On the piano.
Thank you.
Don't let me see you pass me. I got a case to solve.
He leaves the room. So let me ask you guys a question. So far we have seen 2 acts. Okay? We have seen, everybody having girls. Do I need to move you around? Thank you. We see that at first they're having a party, they're gathering, they're being, they're celebrating, or they're just chilling, or whatever you want to call it. And then all of a sudden we have this big dilemma about a vase, okay, that it almost falls down. Okay? The next day, or our next act, we see that this vase is missing. Okay? I need you to pay close attention to this acts, to the scenes and how they play together, okay, how they are played together to conclude a story. Act 3. Evening of the same day, the guests, looking anxious, are all gathered in the music room.
Thank you all for coming. Mr. Barnes will be here shortly to solve the mystery.
At that moment, Barnes enters the room, rolling a large barrel, which he stands upright.
Good heavens, Barnes. What are you doing with the barrel cheering?
And have you solved the case?
Alright, I need to do improvisation, guys. Alright, there. I think I know where the vase is and why, but I'm not so sure about who put it there.
He grabs the lid from the barrel and starts throwing fish over his shoulders. Gales, the butler, runs back and forth catching them.
Run.
Run, Gil, run.
Oh,
Why? In a fish.
Sorry for putting the caramel.
Where is the last place you would look for a priceless vase?
Why? In a fish barrel, I suppose.
Exactly. But the purpose was not just to hide the vase, it was to protect it. The herring provides a perfectly safe cushion around such a fragile object. Aha. I have it.
Just as he pulls the vase from the barrel, Wendy enters wearing her hat and coat.
Oh no, you have found it.
Safe and sound, just as you intended.
He turns to the guests.
You see, the vase never actually was stolen. After the events of last night, Wendy meant only to protect it.
What you say is true, sir. I know how much the name means to Lady Milton. And you, sir, more than anyone, know how accidents can happen.
And that's why you look after this.
As he walks toward Wendy, he trips. The vase flies high into the air, but Wendy catches it. Case solved. Thank you guys. Let's go.
And it's a king.
Everybody take a seat, take your books. Can you guys help me read the objective for today, please?
The students will be able to use their text to answer 5 questions explaining the structure of the play.
Yeah, so basically, we just read our play. We read it yesterday, we read it again today. And I asked you to, while you were following along with the reading, I was asking you to think about how the acts and the scenes work together, you know, to structure the entire story or the entire play. So after we have read our play, we actually have a couple of questions in page 291. So everybody please turn to page 291. Now here's what I want you to do. In your groups, I want you to talk to your partners about these questions. Do not go over the answers, just the questions, and just kind of brainstorm. What are you understanding by the questions? What do you think the book is asking us to do? Okay, and I'm gonna give you 3 minutes for that. We have the first 4 questions. Okay, first 4 questions, that's what, I meant to write 4 and I wrote 5. Please excuse me. So it's actually 4 questions that we have, okay? So I want you to go over those and talk to your partners about what do these questions mean to you. Again, not which answer do you think is correct, but what do the questions actually mean. Okay, you have 3 minutes, go.
For number 1, why did the playwright most likely include staging direction and lines Yes, playwright. Okay,
It's mainly just to like envelop the scene. Or so you know your directions for your acting.
But what do you think it gives you directions?
What did the play?
Don't look at the answers. Just tell me what you think.
The playwright is
What do you think that is giving you directions?
the playwright
Yeah, so that we don't get confused, and that way we know what everybody's doing at the play, right? Let's take a look at the other one. One more minute, guys. Let's take a look at number 2. Playwright usually events, concert in Act 1 to set up events. For Act 2 and Act 3, why did the playwright most likely do this? So why did they actually have the piano scene for us to understand what's going on in 2 and 3, in Acts 2 and 3?
Yo creo que se alcanzó a ver.
Okay,
Oh,
good
the
job.
best described. Oh,
No, 19 es de todas las primeritas que sé.
Okay, thank you. I heard some interesting conversations on table 5, on table 1. Thank you guys so much. So now, let's go over these questions as a class, and let's see what are they actually asking for us. Okay, now I do have an essential question over here. Can you guys help me read it? Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Explain from the story would have changed when we would have lived to please.
Yes, so as we are answering all of these questions that form the actual play, I want you to have in mind an alternative of this play. What would have happened if Wendy wouldn't have hit the vase? Okay, so let's first take a look at number 1. Aiden, number 1, can you read it for me? Page 291. Yes, as we start reading our play, we understand that there are some directions that the author is giving us. Okay, stage directions to be precise in line 2. Why do we think? First off, let's take a look at what the directions kind of look like. It says the curtain opens on the music room of the mansion. Diana is singing as Rupert plays the piano. The guests are sitting in rows of chairs around the piano, listening with complete attention. The exception is Fenwick Barnes, who is clearly falling asleep. Okay, so it's giving us the stage directions, how, everybody is sitting around the piano in rows, and who's playing the keyboard and who is singing. Why do you think this is important for the story, for the play? I'm sorry, Moises?
To describe what the act or the play is mostly about.
To describe what it's mostly about. Now, do you guys recall what is a scene? Yeah, and do you guys recall what is an act? Okay, let's go over those real quick. Let's see. Natalie, what is an act?
An act is a set of people who are representing something.
Yes, they're representing something. The act actually tells a main part of the drama. Okay, so the drama is the entire play, remember? And then we have 3 acts, if I'm not mistaken. It's 3 acts. So now every act takes place in a different, setting, and it's a different kind of mini story that's going around. And those mini stories, or those parts of the story, go ahead and build up towards the actual story, the full story. Yeah? So then the scene, basically, small scenes complete an act, and then different acts complete the whole story. Okay? So Moises told us to describe the setting and events that happened before the actor's line. Is that what you said? And we can actually find this answer in letter D. Okay? Can you read letter D for me, Joel? Josué. Josué. I always confuse you. I'm sorry, Josué.
To describe the setting and events that happened before the first actor's line.
Yeah, so even before the actors start picking, you already understand what is going on. You already know what the setting looks like. You see the people around. How many of you guys have seen movies and people are already doing activities without the actors even, talking? Yeah, I can remember a movie, Kung Fu Panda. Have you guys seen it?
No.
Okay, so before even he starts narrating his story, you're already seeing the panda with like the cape and the hat walking into the restaurant without even him mentioning a thing. So it kind of sets the mood to grab your attention and understand what is going on around that. So yes, letter D is our answer. Number 2. Marco, could you please read number 2 for us?
The playwright used the event of the conflict in Act 1 to set up events for Act 2 and 3. Why did the playwright most likely do this?
Yeah, so they used the event of the concert, the piano concert, Mr. I forgot your
Rupert.
Rupert, there you go. Mr. Rupert, played by Japhet, was playing the piano as Moises, playing Diane, was singing. It kind of set the mood for something. Now this had an effect on Acts 2 and Act 3. The question is asking, why did the playwright most likely do this? Miranda, could you read the options for us?
To explain to the audience why Fenwick Barnes fell asleep, to describe the value of and interest in the main conflict, to explain why Lady Milton thinks Fenwick Barnes is a great detective, to describe a theory about how John Baker can make things fall.
Okay, let's think about the whole play, the play as a whole, okay? We know that they're having a party, and then Barnes falls asleep, but something happens, right? What is the event that follows when he falls asleep? He hits something, and then all of a sudden something happens.
It's the high note.
He can't if he's falling asleep.
Oh, I know.
Miranda,
He hits the shelf and
he hits the shelf, and then the vase, what happens to the vase?
The vase falls.
Falls down and it falls on his lap, right? Now they start talking about what? What is the whole story about?
The
lady. No. The
vase.
story revolves around a particular object,
The mean.
a vase. And they start talking about this vase, right? What do they say? Let's go back and let's go back to Act 1. And all of the guests are talking about this vase. What are they talking about specifically?
how beautiful it is.
How beautiful it is. What about the owner? What does the owner say? It is, oh my God, it is so expensive. It comes from blah, 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 and I bought it at this price. What else? Did you raise your hand?
yeah, I was gonna say that.
The same thing? Oh man, I stole your answer. I am so sorry. No? So they are basically kind of telling the owner how beautiful is it. Man, I wish I had one of those and blah, 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 right? They are kind of setting the mood for the story. You know that the story has to do with this vase. Why is it so important? Did they make a comment on, hey, Barnes, wake up. Wake up, don't be falling asleep, man. This guy is really good at keyboard. Are they talking about that? No. Are they talking about the high notes that Diane was speaking? No, they basically said maybe it fell because of the high note, but they don't go deep into the science of the sound waves and the speed of sound and anything like that. So, which answer do you think best fits the purpose of Act 1? Read over your options, talk with your classmates for a minute. I will walk around. So what do you think that, how do you think that Act 1 is setting the story up? That's your question. Talk among your groups. Miguel, you're falling asleep? You should have been born.
To describe the value of an ant,
Yes, we are. The theory
It's B. What does B say? Okay, good job. Good job. Mr. Jose, you falling asleep? Mr. Barnes? Did we come up with
because
an
like
answer?
Mr. Cordova said, and that's one is describing, this costs millions, this is from China, this is from that. So it's basically like more paying attention on the base than the other characters.
All right. So, did we find an answer for this?
Yeah.
Okay, let's. I'm not a great test taker. So basically what I do is I go by removing the answers that make less sense. JD, please wake up. Or put your head up. Thank you. So it says, to explain to the audience why Fenwick Barnes fell asleep. They don't even make a comment on that. They just say, hey, he's falling asleep. No. You know? So I would cross that out. It says, B, to describe the value of an interest in the moon flash. Okay? Because they talk so much about it, I will kind of keep that answer there, see if it makes sense after I read the other one. C, to explain why Lady Milton think Fenwick Barnes is a great detective. It's just like a comment. It's like, hey, great shoes. And you move on with your life, right? It's not like, oh my God, where did you get those? What brand are those? What are those? So it's like, you know, they don't make a lot of emphasis on this particular event, which is, you know, Barnes being a great detective. And last but not least, letter D, it says to describe a theory about how sounds and vibrations can make things fall. Like I said, you know, they do not make a lot of emphasis on that event. So I would say the letter is B. That is our answer. Now for the third answer, for the third question, it kind of requires us a little bit more of our time. Okay? Let's see. Popsicles of destiny. Popsicle sticks of destiny. Moises, read question 3 for us.
Read line 13 from Act 2 of the drama, Barnes. Looking from face to face, and yet last night every single person in the room expressed the wish that he or she might possess such a piece of priceless beauty. The Gaston muttered amongst himself, offended. Someone is missing. Where's Wendy the maid?
So it's basically, this is one of the investigations that Barnes is doing, right?
Yes.
So he looks at all of them. But yesterday, all of you said that you kind of wanted to have this. And then he's like, hey, where's this girl? She's missing. Okay? Now, what is the question asking us?
So the 3 choices that best describe why the playwright included in line 13.
Select 3 choices that best describe why the playwright included line 13. We have to show Lady Milton's distress over the loss, to show that every person is a suspect, to show the value of the main base, to show the character's suspicion of Wendy, to show that guests do not like Barnes, and to show that no guest caused the vase's disappearance. Okay? I'm going to give you 3 minutes to discuss these answers with your classmates and select your 3, and then we will go over them. Okay? Go. We're in question 3, right? So we have this line. Okay, we have the line from and the Barnes and the detective is looking at everybody. And he's like, it's kind of weird, it's kind of sus that yesterday you all said you wanted the face and now today is gone. So it says, why is this so important? And then it gives us our answer. Okay? So the first, let me start. It says to show that Lady Milton is stressed over the loss of the vase, to show everyone's a suspect, to show the value of the vase, to show the suspicion of Wendy, you know, because she was not there. He's like, hey, where's Wendy? Maybe she ran off with her or something, you know? To show that they didn't like Barnes because they were like offended, like, or to show that none of them had anything to do with it. Think about it. How many of you guys are ready to go over this? Thank you for showing me your thumbs up. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go over our options. It says A, to show Lady Milton's distress over the loss. Is she all worried in this line? No, she didn't even say anything, right? It was kind of like Barnes making like conclusions about the events that happened. So I would, disregard that. It says, to show that every person is a suspect. Yes, can you tell me why do you think this?
Well, okay, me first?
Well, yeah.
Well, so the reason why is because Barnes looks face to face to all of them, meaning like he's suspicious to them, to the guests, and then he says, and yet last night every single person in the room expressed a wish that he or she might possess such a piece of priceless beauty. Meaning he's stating that possibly any guest that was invited to the music room to have a concert could possibly, when the concert ended, stole the vase.
Yes. And I really like your explanation about, he was kind of like everybody. Like every single one of you. Even the monkey.
Yeah, the monkey.
Yeah.
I think you should count out.
Maybe it was the monkey. I'm just kidding. Okay. So, do you guys agree or disagree with Victor's explanation? Yeah? Is anybody disagreeing his explanation? Douglas? Okay. Alright, so let's all select that. Okay, I can agree with you. Let's see, letter C. To show the value of the minced vase. What do you guys think? What did your group select? You guys didn't like that answer? Okay. Joel, now I'm calling you, okay? So why are you disagreeing with this answer?
First of all, they're not even talking about the vase here that much. They are? I know they are, but it doesn't, they're not saying, oh wait, they are saying the value in everything, but
Are you having doubts there, man?
wait. Okay, I don't get it.
You don't get it?
I know.
Okay, Jackie,
I disagree with Corin.
you disagree. So you do want to select this answer? Can you tell me why do you want to select this answer?
Because in the line it says that he or she might possess such a piece of priceless beauty, so it's expressing how valuable it is.
Ah, I really like that. I like how you're thinking outside the box. You know, you're actually saying your story as a whole. You're not just basing your opinion on what line 13 says, but on the full concept, on the full story. Way to go. Way to think outside the box. I really like that. Alberto?
I agree with Chloe not to choose that sentence because according to Jacqueline, they say about the priceless beauty, but after that it says, "Where's Wendy?" They just forget about the beauty and everything.
Okay. Now, and I really like how you're defending your opinion with facts from the actual story. Let's put it on a vote here. After hearing both sides and both answers, raise your hand if you do not want to select this answer. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you raising your hand, Magdalene? Okay, so we have 5 votes or not selecting this answer. If you want to select this answer, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Julio even voted twice.
No.
Oh, you're not raising your hand? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. That's a majority. So we're going to choose it, okay? Let's go. Let's go ahead and choose that. 10 minutes. Fine, you're doing this. I need you to do your answers. Okay, we're on option D, right? Option D? Okay, Layla, can you read option D for us? Okay, can you read it one more time and a little bit louder, please? To show the character's suspicion of Wendy. That kind of reminds me of what Alberto said, like, forget about everything and just give all the attention to, hey, where's Wendy? Like, hey, where's Perry? Or something like that. Okay? When you discuss with your groups, did any of the groups selected this answer? Okay, I see group, whoa, all of the groups selected this answer. Except Angel. Angel, do you have an opposing viewpoint on this answer? Or you just were too lazy to raise your hand? Yeah, I assume that. Okay, so let's go with that answer. It says select 3 choices, and we already selected 3 choices. Should we just go over the other options to see if maybe one of them? Okay. Option E. To show that none of the guests do not like barns. Okay. Why was this answer not selected? What's that?
Because in the story it says that everybody there was loved Bart because he caught the vase.
Yeah, even somebody made a comment of, you saved the day again, or something like that, right? When he caught the vase, and then when he found it again. Yeah, I need you to be paying attention.
He saved today.
Okay, so is that one of the why we did not select this option?
I mean,
Okay. Alberto, do you have something to
I
say?
mean, it can right, but it's not because, and some, as we chose back, and B, to show that there is a limit suspect, the others can feel offended. And the same as over here, he or she possesses such a piece of priceless beauty. The guests all muttered among themselves, offended.
No, yeah, you can be offended by something somebody says and still, hang around with them.
A love-hate relationship.
I don't like that term. Well, I have used it before, so I shouldn't be complaining. Anyway, thank you for your evidence, and thank you for letting us know your opinion. Is this an answer that you would select? Because you were also in a dilemma, like, it kind of is right, but it kind of is not right.
Yeah.
So did you select this as your answer? Did anybody else select this as their answer? Option E. No? Miguel, you chose it? Okay. That's good. Any of you chose it? That's okay. We will go over them at the end, and then you will be able to make those changes. Then our last option, letter F. To show that no guest caused the vase disappearance. Did anybody select this answer? No? Why not? Group 6. Why didn't you choose this answer? Letter F. Did you guys choose letter F?
No.
Why not? Jay.
In here, and at the end of the line, somebody's missing first when they're made. And that shows that they only think one person is responsible, and not everyone.
I don't think they should have known this because
Okay, I see some doubts here. Yes, Valeria?
I didn't my group didn't choose this answer because it also on the line 13 it states that every guess is suspect, so it could be any guess, and that's why I didn't read it. Because it's just like nobody.
Yeah, it's like they were like all offended, right? But even if you did something, you'd be like, me? No, not me. And then at first he says like everybody is a suspect. So this option kind of contradicts. If we would have chose this, it's because it kind of contradicts the letter B option, which is everybody's a suspect. So if you didn't choose this, good job. We're down to our last two questions. We have one question from the book and then our essential question, okay? What is the meaning of the phrase save the day as it is used in line 3? What it says?
stop the disaster.
Stop the disaster?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or gave us a
Why did he stop a disaster? Marlene?
Because the vase was falling.
Because the vase was falling. Let's picture a vase. A vase is made out of what? Clay. So if it falls down on the ground, what do you think will happen? It will break, so then it will be chaos, right? Physically and emotionally. So yes, because he actually saved the vase from falling and creating a disaster. Great answer, Marlene. Okay. Did anybody selected a different answer?
No.
For number 4?
You could also put A or C.
No, I don't think.
Oh, never mind, not C. I thought it was gave us solution to the problem.
Okay, so we stick with A then?
Yes.
Okay.
A is very
Now let's remember that we are, going to be able to use this to answer these questions about the structure. Okay, we have been going back and forth about, why do we use this in line 13? Why do we use the setting? What figurative language, just like we, went over a week ago, 2 weeks ago, we're talking about figurative language. And in this case, question 4 is using that, save the date. Did it really save the date? No, but it's an expression, right? So now after we've been over these questions about the sweet sequence of events that form up this story, I want you to think. Remember in the beginning I asked you to think about an alternative way for the story to flow? What would have happened, or how did the story would have changed if Wendy did not put the vase in the barrel? Talk to your classmates, to your groups.
It could have been stolen, or it could have been
Good. So,
she wanted
how do you think, how do you think that the story would have gone if Wendy would not hit the vase?
I believe that one of
So
the
you know how
guys
Wendy,
could have robbed it
she put the vase inside the barrel with fish, right?
because everybody was talking
And then everybody was happy because the vase was protected. What would have happened if she wouldn't put the vase?
Also, Wendy could have
It would break.
stolen
I
it.
think it would break what?
So she was the one that did it.
But it would
It could have been perfectly fine. They would have like a regular day. They continue talking about the debate.
What was the what?
Number 2. It could have fallen. And it cuts in. Then it's broken. Those are 2.
Also, if the consequence would be like the Heino, if it would happen again, he would still be
Whoa. There's another alternative here. Barnes se hubiera quebrado. Porque Barnes fue el que lo sacó.
Yeah, they did. So probably they were just like.
Oh no, if she didn't put the drawers.
3 alternatives. Boy, I want to hear that.
The main draw, yeah, pero the owner that they end up putting fine is gonna be sad. Now they're gonna see how to make her happy and give her.
Yeah, but
Why is that Barnes? What is that Barnes? There's a Barnes in there. Where? Ahí la agarró. None of them would drop it, but everybody was like,
Who wrote no quemaco with a C? Man,
I didn't know.
you need to practice your spelling.
No, there's que be a fourth alternative.
I know like the
Playing around or así, jumping in everything. También could have fallen.
Something like this.
Anybody get like woke up in the morning?
No, he's looking at.
Okay, thank you. Now, we're gonna go over this real quick. Now, on this one, there's not a right or wrong answer, okay? Now, if you bring something out of context like, whoa, well, maybe the vase got stolen by some aliens and whatnot. You know, the aliens are not in the context of the story. So as long as you stay within context, there is no right or wrong answer. Natalie,
Okay, so if Wendy
can you speak a little bit louder?
if Wendy wouldn't protect the vase, it could have fallen again, but this time it wouldn't break.
So it could have fallen again, but this time, like it would actually break?
Yeah.
So what would, if even, does anybody have that? Does anybody also thought, you know, if she wouldn't put the vase away, it was gonna break?
I believe so too because
Hold on. I'm not asking you to explain.
No, I
Just
have
asking if you have the same answer.
I have another one.
I'm not asking if you have another one.
It's created.
Guys, listen to my question. Group 6. Ready? Okay. How many of you have this answer too? You know, if she didn't put away the vase, it was gonna break. Who has that? Okay. Nadeline, coming back to you. So if the vase would have, you know, fallen down and break, what else could have happened? Did you guys move on to that, or you were just like, you know, if she would have put the vase away, it was gonna break? End of story.
I didn't agree.
Do you have a follow-up to that, Alberto?
I have a I think it can be the owner's gonna be sad, and the other guy's gonna like thinking how to make her happy.
So the owner of the vase was gonna be sad, and then what else?
The guy said he's going to think how to make her happy again.
The guests were gonna try to make the owner happy. Okay, good. I can see that happening. Jafet?
This is really Marilyn because why would she hide it into a fish barrel instead of putting it back where it was?
No, that's how the story went. What I'm asking is, what would have happened if she did not put the vase with the fish? That was my question. You know, she put it there, and the vase was safe, and nothing happened. But my question is,
What's the point of putting it in there instead of just putting it back where it was?
because it was gonna break.
How?
Will we'll shoot out of the window and hit it?
No, because remember Barnes was falling asleep. He hit the, what's it called?
Yeah, but he won't.
The shelf, and then it was, well, how do you know?
Because
It already happened once. Now this is full imagination, okay? This is full imagination. Like I said, there is no right or wrong answer. Joel, do you have another alternative?
Yes.
Okay, what would have happened if she didn't put the vase with the fish?
An alternative is it could have been stolen.
It could have been stolen?
Yeah,
I
because
disagree.
everyone was talking about how beautiful it was, how much it was worth and everything.
Okay, that's
And someone could have, oh, I'm gonna steal this or something like that.
And remind me not to take you to my house anytime.
It's a quarter.
Jose.
Just gonna say, this is probably gonna be bad because they think it's bad. But I think the monkey just found the vase and then smashed it. The monkey.
I mean,
Hey,
that
it's
could be.
totally fair. You have a monkey that's gonna be monkeying around. Yeah, they put him on the piano for a little bit, but eventually he's gonna get bored and, you know,
Go like
Hey,
this,
when did they put him in the piano?
on Act 1.
Okay, I'll let that one slide. I'm okay with
Guys,
that.
does anybody have a different answer?
I have something also with the monkey.
What happened with the monkey?
Me, I also agree with Jose Juan, but we came up with a different one. The monkey, as you said, could have been bored and could have been playing around and then jumping on
He ate the
the
vase
shelf
itself.
and then the vase could have.
Yeah, it could have fallen. Okay, good. Let's go over our answers real quick. So switch the book with within your group. Just switch it around, rotate it, and you're gonna grade your classmates' answers.
Which answer?
Classmates, switch the book with somebody else. Just don't be playing with the marker like you were. Show me a thumbs up when you're ready. Thank you. I'm still waiting thumbs up on group 6. I see Aiden ready. I see Douglas ready. I see Angel ready. Okay, let's. Question 1. D, letter D. You should be having letter D. If not, just cross it out. Show me a thumbs up so that I can move to question 2. Letter B. B as in boy. Okay, now number 3 with our 3 options. B, C, and D. Those should be your correct answers.
But
Maybe not. Some there were some discrepancies between the groups. Some groups decided this, but then one person decided
our
the
group
other.
was all good.
Okay, and question 4 from the book.
A.
Letter A. Question 5 was which was our essential question. We pretty much shared all of our answers, and there was no right or wrong answer to that. So you guys are good on that. Okay, make sure you give the book back to its original owner. And at this time, please go back to your seat if you switch seats. sir.
What time is it?
Wait, teacher, wait. See you tomorrow, guys. Or never. I hope I see you one day.